Josie. I was trying one more time. The voicemail was busy before. Okay, what is sexy? Sexy is probably a biochemical reaction in the brain. But I would say, in terms of feeling, it's something to do with the suggestion of the euphoria one experiences in sex. No, that's very literal, but the suggestion of sex is always more sexy than actual sex. Maybe not, but that's a possibility. It's really up for grabs here. I know we can find something sexy in someone we're not supposedly attracted to. I can find girls sexy who I am not attracted to. There's a promise of intimacy, perhaps. Boy, am I analytical. This is trying to describe in words something that's pure feeling. And it's really hard to connect those two parts of my brain. You know when something is sexy, and it doesn't necessarily translate to actual longing. This is Josie again. Now I'm really intrigued by what's going to come out of my mouth next. But in thinking about this more, sexy has to do with the purest essence of being alive. It is the core of being. So it reminds us of a life force, perhaps. But then, upon thinking about that further, I realized that puppies are not sexy, and yet they are of that same life force. So it would probably be something human in nature, hopefully. Although a pair of boots can be sexy, suggesting human behavior or the possibility of human behavior. I am so out of control with this answer now, but that's basically my statement on the matter, and it is probably an absurd one, but that's the real me. Okay, hope to talk to you in person sometime. Bye.
Message deleted. Today at 12.
Hey, Steve, it's Rob Kleiner. How's it going? I think I was going to say sexy is an adventure, but don't make that my official answer. Let me think about it more. Maybe a bottle of wine is sexy also. I don't know. I'll have to think about that one. So that's not official. Don't mark me down for that one yet. All right, I'll talk to you soon, man.
Message deleted.
Okay, so my phone's beeping. That means it's going to, burn out any minute. But, okay, so I'm going to give you two because I came up with two. I'm going to give you the second one first, which is a man shaving, I think is sexy. Somebody in his, 30s or 40s, like a real man. And then the other one is it's probably going to sound a little fucked up, but I'm going to tell you anyway. It's a beautiful person crying, I think, is sexy. There's this one picture that I love when I find, in books. It's of Marilyn Monroe, and it's after she's announced her divorce in a press conference to her divorce from Joe DiMaggio. And she's standing there with her lawyer, and her lawyer's the one making the statements, and she's the one that's standing next to him, and she's sort of has her head in her hands, and she's wearing this black dress, and there's this look on her face that's tragic, but that combination of tragedy and beauty, I think, is very, very sexy. And I know that sounds really odd, but it's favorite pictures of her ever. It probably is my favorite photo of her ever, and you never see it anywhere. It's only in biography books that you'll see it. But I think it's a very sexy picture of her. Anyway, that's it. Bye.
Sexy. Sexy. Sexy.
That's from the Webster's Dictionary online that you can listen to. I just wanted to find out what the actual definition was. Definition of sexy is sexual, suggesting, or stimulating, erotic, adjective, inflected, sexy, or sexiest. And then it goes on to, like, links for bras and stuff. So, I'll call you back. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jody Larson, very good friend of Pleasant Gaiman. And what do I think is sexy? Well, number one, I think your voice is pretty damn sexy. Anyway, one of the things I think is very sexy is the smell of a man's skin after he's been outside. And I don't mean the sweaty smell. I just mean like his natural scent. I don't know how to describe it, but it's combined with the fresh air, and I just put my nose up against his neck, and it's like, oh, my God. That's one thing I think is very sexy.
This is Penn Gillette. What is sexy is the decision to have sex, deciding with all of kind of the taboos around it and all the commitment issues, the decision to make sex. When someone has decided to have sex with you, that's sexy. After that, it's just, I don't know, fulfilling a promise. But the promise is sexy.
Okay, it's Susan Trailer. Here is what I think is sexy. Orange blossoms in the heat. Orange blossoms, blooming orange blossoms. Orange blossoms blossoming in the heat. Well, that and a couple other things.
Hi, Steve. It's Iris Berry calling with my sexy report, finally. Okay, here you go. Hollywood Boulevard at twilight, MacArthur Park at sunup. MacArthur Park at sunup is amazing. And I'm not going to say why I was there. Eric Gagne's forearms and Nomar Garcia Parra's twitches. 59 Chevy Impalas in good or bad shape. Just so sexy. Prison blues. Prison blues can be so sexy, especially worn on the right men, and if they're behind glass on the phone, oh my God, that is so sexy. Teeth are really sexy, especially gap teeth ones.
To play the message.
This is Gaia Gaddy, and what I think is sexy is honesty, integrity, and a deep reverence for life. Don't buy me flowers. If you're going to kill a plant, buy me a book. That turns me on. Thank you very much, Steve Bobbison, and have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Bye-bye.
Hi, Steve. This is Selene Luna, and I'm calling to tell you what I think is sexy. So, what I think is sexy is what's really a person. Someone who is confident, somebody who is authentic, and someone who owns their shit. Somebody who can live in their skin, which I think is the most difficult thing to do, but I find it incredibly sexy when somebody can do it. All right. I hope that was sexy. Bye-bye.
Hi, Steve. It's Pleasant. Tigers are sexy. Tigers are just ridiculously, amazingly sexy. I've always thought so. I can totally see the point that Siegfried and Roy had. They're kind of sexy in a Thunderbird's way, but I think I would just befriend either one of them to get to the tigers, especially when they roll over. I stood in front of the tiger window at the Mirage in Las Vegas. Of course, I was on hallucinogenics, but I was standing there for like an hour and a half watching the tigers. They were amazing. Any kind of feline, but the bigger the better. One time I saw a real tiger walking around a swimming pool in Hollywood. It was like 1979, and I had a hangover.
And the guy at first I thought I was seeing things, and the guy who owned it said he didn't want to leave it in the car. It was playing with me with a palm tree branch, like how you play with a cat with a little string. Tigers are amazing. I also think that fire and explosions are really sexy. This is kind of like, I'm sort of sad to say this, but tornadoes and hurricanes and especially atomic blasts are sexy to me. That's probably my worst fetish. I like drag queens, but compared to like an atomic test, like Bikini Baker and the Bikini Atoll, even like RuPaul would pale in comparison. I hope you don't use this in the movie because I'm going to sound like I'm completely insane. What else do I think is sexy? I kind of like those wigs that judges wear in England in the olden days, or that whole like Louis the 14th like wig, beauty mark, kind of like dandy foppishness. That era was really sexy.
Today.
Hi, this is Shauna Kinney, author of I Was a Teenage Dominatrix. I'm answering the question, what is sexy? I say sweat running down a human body in little rivers and the little indentations in someone's back is really sexy. Sweat and dirt on a body are sexy. All mixed together, even sexier.
What is sexy is watching your wife riding her bike in front of you and seeing the crack of her ass poking out and maybe her thong. My name is Rich Dollinger.
Hey, it's Jackie Beat calling to tell you what is sexy. And I hate to be a bitch, but instead I'm going to tell you what is not sexy. And what is not sexy is answering the question, what is sexy? Do you understand what I mean? It's too much focus. Everyone is hyper aware. I like a guy who doesn't know how sexy he is. You know, maybe a little nerd. Anyway, everyone thinks they're sexy these days, and they're not. I am.
You know what? You want to know what sexy is? Sexy is not being sick. I hate being sick, and you don't feel sexy when you're sick. Especially with snot running down your nose. So I think good health is sexy. Good health is very, very sexy. This is Edward Canary-Ostro, signing off.
Bye! This is James Packard. I am in front of the Scream Awards at a full moon on Hollywood Boulevard in Vine. There's lots of things walking by that are sexy. Mostly it's high heels and skirts up to her crotch. God damn it. And then ironically, as God would have it, that I'm looking down at a bill and it says SEXY, sexy. It's a lesbian promo card. Rah rah, sexy. Isn't that funny? And I said to myself, well, nothing on but a smile, as that's always the sexiest thing. The other thing, maybe the other end of the spectrum, would be what is sexy is the quote, you want to fuck me? That's been done a couple of times before, and that's hard to resist. Even when all the other signals say no. But that can usually override just about any negative sexy inputs to the cerebral Precambrian brain.
Hi Steve, Nicolas Debo from Sweden here. So, what is sexy to me? Qu'est-ce qui est sexy pour moi? Sexy, c'est quand il y a de l'innocence, du non réfléchi dans l'air. Quand le regard ou le sourire ou le langage du corps d'un homme ou d'une femme provoque en moi les premiers frissons du désir. Quand je suis pris par surprise. Quand les courbes et les odeurs et la lumière et la perfection du moment me choquent ou me bouleversent. Sexy, c'est la sensualité magique d'un instant innocent. What is sexy to me? Sexy is when innocence is there, when a person's eyes or smile or body language awakes in me the first moment of lust, when I'm taken off guard, when curves and odors and light and perfection shock me. Sexy to me is a brief moment of grace, but it's already over. Sexy, c'est la sensualité magique d'un instant innocent.
Hi. Sexy is when naked people hold animals or babies. I think that's pretty sexy. Like if they're naked and they're holding like a puppy and they just woke up, or a kitten, or a cat, but not anything like a monkey or a weird animal. That's not sexy. That's disturbing. That's it. My voice is kind of sexy when I want it to be. That's what they tell me when I answer phones at the restaurant and take deliveries. But this isn't about me, right? Okay.
Hey, it's Christian Campbell calling you from Singapore, hence my tardiness in getting back to you. I'm out here doing a show right now. But, yeah, okay. What do I find sexy? The small of a woman's back. There's not much more that turns me on than seeing that. Okay. Take care.
It's a secret.
Hi there, it's your cousin Laurie. Well, I didn't think I was going to get this done. I've got Leah in the background. I'm in my car. I hope it doesn't sound too bad. But you know how I sent you the email about the new James Bond? Well, you know, it just hit me that I thought of that because that was sort of an aberration. I don't generally think of men in swimming suits as being sexy. But I can tell you that since I was in high school, I have totally thought nerdy, brainy guys with sort of, you know, their indifference and their intelligence, I have always thought they were very sexy. Anyway, so that's my gig, and I will talk to you later. Bye. Love you.
Little Richard is really sexy. Little Richard, Jimi Hendrix, any of those kind of like crazed guitar playing, like prodigies from the 50s, all that rockabilly music, it's so sexy. Elvis, oh my God, Elvis was so sexy. And also Priscilla was really sexy, especially when you imagine like him like sponsoring her to come over there and live with him when she was like 14. That would never happen nowadays. I think Leslie Van Houten from the Manson family was kind of hot, and I just watched when she came up for parole, and she looked like she's turned her life around. She looked pretty pure. I love Oz, the movie, speaking of prisons, and I love any kind of women's prison movie. A whole bunch of B movies are like really sexy. That whole like Susan Hayward, I Want to Live thing, that was just unbelievable, the tough broad thing. I like it when old movie stars in black and white films pick tobacco off their tongue, like Betty Davis or Joan Crawford, and very delicately pick the tobacco leaves off their tongue. Murder Incorporated with Bugsy Siegel and Lucky Luciano and Meyer Lansky, that was a really dangerously scary, sexy concept. Who in their right mind calls like their business Murder Incorporated and then hits people? The Three Stooges, oddly enough, were really sexy, especially Shemp. I loved Shemp. I was obsessed with him. And also the Marx Brothers.
Oh my God, Steve, it's Lightfield. I'm so sorry. I'm calling now to answer the question. What is sexy? Eyeliner, mascara, lipstick, summer dresses, and usually worn by a female. And what else? Gosh, I don't know. Eye contact.
Steve, it's Mario Diaz, Dirty Sanchez, calling to answer your question. I haven't had my coffee yet, so a little groggy. What is sexy? You know what I think is sexy? I think men with wide faces that look somewhat like elves or gnomes. Generally, they have maybe one eyebrow or close to it. They've got that man smell about them. Usually, they have like a little furry chest or treasure trail and furry butts. They tend to be shorter sometimes. Yeah, I'll go with elf men. I think that's really sexy. And yeah, these are surface answers. Also, women with big noses, a la Rosie De Palma, sexy exotic women with big noses. I think that's sexy. But ultimately, I mean, we all know that sexy isn't necessarily a physical thing. It's an attitude and confidence. But yeah. Oh, and what's not sexy are flip-flops. Very unsexy. Thank you.
The things that I find sexy, my name is Eric Hyman, the things I find sexy are coffee with cream, men with high foreheads, the color red, and nighttime. That's all.
I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to do it, even though there's a slumber party going on. This is Maria Bro, and I think sexy is a lot of different things. It's world peace, things that are uncommon, like, I don't know, lesbian bikers on acid making experimental films about a white man getting raped by black women. It's things that are unexpected, and you never know what's going to happen next. I think that's very sexy.
White skin, milk white skin. So white you can see the blue blood underneath. Bad posture. Jiggly asses with no underwear under skirts. Dirty sweats by themselves. Fawn lines. No underwear whatsoever. The only underwear that's permissible is thongs with the line coming up out of the pants. Or those really horrible BVDs, because you know that you had to wear when you were like 10. If you got a really huge package, because you know they're going to come off quick.
Being able to be around someone a long time and not want to wring their neck is sexy. Also, a big nose doesn't hurt either, because you know what they say. This is Shishi LaRue. Bye.
I was just thinking that really acrobatic sex would be sexy or fun. Like where you're just throwing each other around and lifting each other up and kind of getting into different, almost zero gravity positions with each other, a lot of juggling and things like that. Maybe a trapeze even. But see, a trapeze is so standard.
Hello, Steve. This is Andrew Lundwall. In response to your question, I think that which is mysterious or enigmatic and the unknown are, to me, incredibly sexy. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Burt Lancaster, David Bowie, Angela Bowie, Alice Cooper, Freddie Mercury from Queen, actually like Olive Queen. Oh my God. Mark Bolan from T-Rex at its heyday, not when he got fat. And actually in real life he'd be too short for me. The Cramps are like one of the sexiest, scariest bands I've ever seen. I didn't think Duran Duran was sexy at the time, but now I think they're so fucking sexy. I loved the Indian from the Village People. I was obsessed with the Village People as a whole concept. Any kind of leather fag or drag queen. Edie Sedgwick. Donatella Versace. Not like, you know, just in Queen. I said Queen. Oh, what? Twiggy, yeah, Twiggy. Neotech just said Twiggy. Twiggy was really sexy. Gene Shrimpton, Mick Jagger, Marianne Faithfull. Oh my God, Catherine Deneuve. Catherine Deneuve and Belle de Jour. I forgot the guy's name, like the pimp with the silver foil teeth. Anybody with like a playa bridge, a playa grill was sexy, but especially in those days. Oh my God, Kid Celine, which was Lee Marvin from Cat Ballou. He had silver teeth. That was fucking awesome. I used to think that Festus from Gunsmoke was sexy when I was little, and then when I grew up, I realized he was the town drunk. But I thought he was really sexy. I loved Lily Munster. Lily Munster was really sexy. I thought Herman Munster was a fag, and Grandpa Munster scared me.
Hey, Steve, it's Becca. Sexy is the curve in a woman's bust, the curve in a woman's waist, and occasionally some rock-hard abs. For the most part, sexy is everything female. And that's all I know about sexy. Bye, sweetie.
I think that sexy is this is Ginger Coyote. Sexy is an inner confidence that you have inside. You can be big, small, tall, short, anything. You can look like Anna Nicole Smith or Nancy Culp, but you can still have an inner sexiness that's deep within inside that makes you appealing. And it's not so much physical as it is a mental thing. I think that sexiness comes from within, and an allureness. Anna Nicole was beautiful when she was big, and sexy when she was sexy, small, and big. And it's just a feeling that you are able to prevail. And I'm happy to say that I try to be sexy, but I'm still working on it. Thank you for asking me. Bye.
Okay, sexy. It reads like a personal ad, but here goes. Warm summer nights, gauzy dresses, getting dirty, meaning like dirt and mud, dirty. The unknowing tension of a crush, vulnerability in general, especially when it's by accident. Bare feet outside, New Orleans, sweaty sex, long meals with wine and a close friend or lover outside, tenderness, surrender to someone I trust, dessert, conversations about food and eating, playing outside, massages, lubed up slippery skin, painting and paint itself, laughing with total abandon, wit, passion for learning, curiosity, color combinations, intimate conversations, confronting fears, baths, round butts, and also all things taboo. Dancing, singing, lightning storms, shyness, Sundays, meaning the day, naps with a lover, building things, high heels, boots and skirts, pushing my body to where it hurts in a good way, playing with my dog, long eye contact with a handsome stranger, dressing up like a woman when I feel girly, above all other things, kissing, powerful writing, honesty, universal truths, trees, climbing trees, red wine, chocolate, all things created specifically and only for pleasure, pushing other people safely beyond their limits, as well as being pushed myself safely beyond my limits, kindness.
Hey, Steve. It's Paul. What an interesting project you got going on. I think what I find most consistently sexy is blood on pale flesh and a good hot corpse. That's pretty much where I'm at, Steve. That and therapy for the rest of my life. I hope all's well, my friend. I hope to catch up with you soon.
This is about girls because I'm predominantly heterosexual. Breasts, any kind of breast. The best are those fucking hang time with, like, they can hold a whole dozen pencils underneath, with the areoles and the nipples that you can hang a fucking coat on. The next best are no tits. Still the coat hang, the bolt nipples. You know what I mean? The kind of like those kindergarten erasers that you could chew on, them big fuckers. The big udder tits are actually kind of the next to the last sexy, and the least sexy is the 1988 Mexican boob job with the scar and the half grapefruits that move around. Typically Houston stripper style. Those are the least attractive breasts. Thank you.
Hi, Steve. This is Ginger Coyote once again. I think sexiness is also a good sense of humor. Without a good sense of humor, you're nothing. And I find people like Margaret Cho, Judy Tenuta, Buck Wild, Kathy Griffin very sexy because they make me laugh. And the comics, I guess Dane Cook is good, but I like people with a good sense of humor and able to laugh at themselves. Thank you again for asking. Bye.
This is Jane County. I have been called legendary glam punk, rock, transgender pioneer, etc. Well, when I first saw that, what is sexy, the first thing that went into my brain was a pair of hairy legs. I don't know why, but I have always found hairy legs on men incredibly sexy, and I don't know why. I just love hairy men. I don't like hairy men. I hate hairy men. I like them smooth all over, except for the legs. Isn't that strange?
Steve, hey, it's John Nickham, leaving my spiel. To me, I equate sexy with what is real. There's nothing less sexy than a girl with fake breasts or a Botox smooth face. Same goes with the other sex. Is there anything more desperate and unappealing than a guy with a hair weave? Sexy is all about being authentic. See ya.
What is sexy to me? Sexy is calling back. Call me back, will you please? And sexy is confidence in yourself and nudity in a tasteful manner. Have a nice day, sexy. Bye. This is Dirty Martini.
Quasimodo. I was obsessed with Quasimodo, and then I just fucking loved him. I loved the Phantom of the Opera, but not the Andrew Lloyd Webber one, the old one from the movie Frederick March, and also when he was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. But Boris Karloff, Bela Lugosi. I mean, I know everyone says those two things, but Boris Karloff as Frankenstein was just so fucking amazing. And also the fact that it just said Karloff. And the monster as himself. Who was it? Rin Tin Tin. Rin Tin Tin. If you what'd you say? Furry animals. Neotech just said, but Rin Tin Tin was a really fucking sexy dog. A great dog. Actually, I love all canine officers. I met a bomb-sniffing dog from the FBI once when I was belly dancing for Hillary Clinton, and I asked his handler what his name was, and he said Rambo, and I thought he said Rainbow at first, and I thought that was, like, really weird. Why would you call, like, a bomb-sniffing canine officer Rainbow? And then I realized, like, he named him Rambo. That was so sick. I like German Shepherds and canine officers. They're really good. Any kind of rescue dog or seeing eye dog, any kind of smart animal. Mr. Ed, definitely. Mr. Ed was like the only natural blonde, like equine mammal that I would like. Or usually I like bleached blondes, but Mr. Ed was a fucking Mr. Ed was God. He was so fucking sexy. Wilbur had no idea what he had with Mr. Ed. Mr. Ed was like a total swinger. Francis the Talking Mule was okay, but as far as horses go, Mr. Ed. I also like Trigger, but he wasn't as sexy as Mr. Ed because he didn't talk.
Hi, finally getting a chance to answer the question, what is sexy? Sharing a glass of champagne, the curve of a hip, a fallen bra strap, an exposed garter, slowly removing a glove is sexy. Looking right into your eyes is sexy. Knowing just the right word and how to say it is sexy. Absolute self-confidence and all that brings with it is very sexy. Being sexy is simply an attitude. Dirty martini is sexy. My name is Don Spiro, and I'm a photographer.
Hey, Steven, what's up, man? This is Paul Sizemore. What I think is sexy is you, buddy. Okay, bye.
Steve motherfucking Balderson. It is Tiffany Shepard. How are you? So what is sexy? Two things. Steve Balderson is pretty fucking sexy, especially when he makes movies with, Mike Patton and Karen Black. And hot naked chicks covered in fake blood. Always sexy. Ridiculously sexy. Hot naked chicks covered in fake blood. That's my answer. I was going to say me, but, one of your crazy other chicks took it first, so kind of sucks. Anyway, hope all's well. Talk to you later. Bye.
Hi, this is Jeff Gillingham. What I believe is sexy is intuition, self-awareness, travelers, individuals who embrace change, and artists with an undying need to feed their creative addictions.
Hey, yo, what up, Steve? This is Deadly from L.A. Yeah, what's up? So what is sexy, right? Sexy. Let me think on that. You know what sexy is, man? I'm thinking back to, like, when I was 12, and there was this neighborhood kid. His name was Nicodemus, right? He was, like, 16. And I would just, like, constantly be staring at his happy trail. So, happy trail is that little line of hair from, like, the belly button region down to, like, the crotch region. Anyway, man, that's fucking sexy to me. I couldn't stop, like, looking at that. And I think it's just because I just knew that trail. I would have to, go down that trail one day, literally, and discover bigger things. And that's pretty much what it is, man. Sexy is the happy trail. And then I'm kind of bummed because I never got a happy trail. I just ended up with a big old happy forest. Yeah, so that's what sexy is to me. And that's it, Doc. All right. Hope you have a good night. Hope you can hear because I got helicopters. I got cars going. Got sirens, dogs all up here in L.A. Yeah, so sexy is Nicodemus and his happy trail. All right, but if that ain't enough, I can call you back, right, Doc? All right. Oh, you know what else? Some people say my voice is sexy. I don't know what you think. Is it turning you on right now, Doc? Huh? Is it making you get excited? What's up, fool? Because I do that to some fools, Just me talking to them, they tell me I'm turning them on. They just get off with me just talking to them. So, yeah. So that's it. Happy trails in my voice, fool. All right. All right, have a good night, baby.
No bra, no hair, no underwear, no shoes, no clothes. The only permissible hair, I'll live with hair on the head, but the rest of it can go. A French girl with hairy armpits and bald pussy is pretty good. The pussy of hair of Carla Napier, 1977. Downy, blonde, cross-eyed, Indiana, Terre Haute, heartthrob. I'll never forget her. That's the only other kind of bush I like.
Hey, this is Danny Lopes calling to tell you that sexy is a director that goes after what he wants, shows passion, realizes it, and brings it to life, and shows us all everything that was in his vision. And sexy is always Steve Balderson. Yes, sir. Talk to you soon, Steve. Bye.
Hey, Steve, this is Julie Kuhn. What is sexy? To me, sexy is Vincent D'Onofrio. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Hi, this is Christopher, and I'm calling to tell you what is sexy. And what is sexy is underneath the surface of innocence, many, many layers of mystery. So when a person is seemingly innocent, but there are little tricklets of mystery and possibly a little mischievousness to them, that's what's sexy to me. So have a good day now. Goodbye.
Burt Reynolds, in a kind of ironic way, but only in Smokey and the Bandit, and not after he married Lonnie Anderson. That was terrifying. Justin Timberlake is so not sexy. Nelly is fucking amazing. Nelly, not that like, I love NWA as a whole sexy, but not like in a way of like any of them sexy, but just the whole NWA's first album would make me want to be a hip hop chick. Any kind of like Yo-Yo, Salt and Pepper, or Beyonce, any blonde black woman is fucking amazingly sexy to me, especially if they're like a hip hop star. Lil' Kim is God. Jackie O's pretty good. Jacqueline Onassis and Jackie O. I used to think Paris Hilton was sexy before she got famous. Arnold the Pig from Green Acres, the Gabor sisters. Oh my God, Johnny X from Freaks, the half man. He was so fucking amazing. I fucking loved him in the tuxedo and stuff. He was awesome. Chang and Eng, the first pair of Siamese twins, and you know that they were really sexy and kinky because they had like 17 kids or something, and so what were them and all their wives doing in like the 1900s? That's crazy. Prince Randian, the guy from Freaks with no arms and no legs, when he rolls that cigarette, he's really sexy. I met Billy Barty once, and he grabbed my ass, but I was posing for photos with him, and I had to stand on my knees, and I let him grab my ass because he was Billy Barty.
This is Tori Six, and I do have many definitions of what is sexy, but I'll just leave a few brief messages. And what I feel is sexy is a man in jeans with no shirt, socks, or shoes. A man in a collared shirt with no underwear, and that's really sexy. Also, a jockstrap and socks. Man, a man in jockstrap and socks, that's really sexy. A man in glasses and a suit, that's really sexy. And the most sexiest thing of all are just some very, very sexy eyes. Male or female, it doesn't matter. Eyes, to me, are the sexiest part of a human being. And that's what I think is sexy. Peace.
Hi, this is Ben Easter in regards to the question, what do I think is sexy? I think intellect is very sexy. Confidence, smile, laughter, depth, hands, and of course eye contact I think is very sexy.
Hey, this is the Enigma. What trips the light fantastic for me is transformation, role-playing, passion, enthusiasm, creativity, health, youth, clothes, and attitude, a willingness to serve, a willingness to submit, simplicity and ease, the hunt, and the chase.
This is Jeff Stillingham. What I think is sexy is making love, intercourse, fucking, having sex, however you want to put it, while having your clothes half on. I find this just amazing, sensual, and erotic, and irresistible. Another thing I find intriguing about the word sexy is how often your opinion about what is sexy changes. I think what I think is sexy today might not be what I find sexy tomorrow.
Cussing in French, not Canadian French. I mean like Parisian, like gutter French. While you're eating her pussy, she's like swearing at you in like the worst, nastiest French in the world and smoking a cigarette. That's it. I'm sorry. I have to stop. Just stop now.
Hey, Steve. How's it going? It's Joe Martin here. Yes, I'm calling to answer the question. I have other information for you, but I'll leave that in a nice, tidy email. So, what is sexy? I would have to say that my interpretation of what sexy is probably just a bunch of descriptive words that come to mind when visualizing something that's sexy. I would say soft, tender, flowing, sharp, but not something that can puncture. Simple, yet provocative. And probably my favorite word to describe sexy. Mysterious.
Hey, Steve. What is sexy to me is a nice smile with perfect teeth. If you don't pass my teeth inspection, I can't even look at you or even see if you're sexy. Bye.
Hi, this is Stephen Wozniak. I am responding to Steve Balderson's What is Sexy for the What is Sexy project. I am a professional actor and writer. I've been in feature films, professional theater, and on national television shows such as Chaos, Beyond the Da Vinci Code, Hope Ranch, The District, Star Trek Enterprise, American Dreams, and many others. What is sexy? That's a great question, and one that gets answered when you see it, but something you later realize is something harder to define after the fact. That's likely why sexy is something that happens in the moment and isn't something you anticipate. By the time your imagination has run wild, the summary of your interpretation of sexy has left the building, as they say. So, sexy is something that takes place now. That's the when part of the answer. Now, the who part of the answer is probably more crucial. Sexy is usually embodied in someone, or at least something that has been anthropomorphized in the eye of the beholder. It comes down to how somebody holds themselves or defines who they are right now. They own it, so to speak. They can be tall and skinny, and even if you don't like that type, the ownership of their person and that type can indeed be unexpectedly very sexy. Yet finally, sexy has as much to do with where it is emerging from as to where it is going. If you see sexy attributes in the smallest things that may not even have an immediately sexy use, then those sexy things build in your mind and reverberate in your experience of sexy. Sexy is what you see, how you feel, and who you are. That's sexy. Thanks.
Okay, it's Allie Willis with my 60 seconds. Okay, what is sexy? Let's see. Someone with kind and deep eyes who lets me be whatever and whoever I want to be whenever I want to be it. Who knows how to rope me in when I fly out too far. And who comes alive in the right clothes, definitely important, has an intimate relationship with color and texture and style, someone I can trust, and someone who I'd rather spend time with than do the million other things I'd be interested in otherwise. So there's my answer. Bye.
Brangelina, like taking flying lessons together. And also Angelina Jolie by herself when she was like being really inappropriate and making out with her brother. The hitchhiker in the first version of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I don't know if it was really sexy, but he was so fucking sick. It was sort of a weird obsession. Definitely Leatherface. That was like scarily sexy, and I actually met him. Oh my God, Michael Myers from Halloween. Did you know that the Michael Myers mask was a Captain Kirk mask turned inside out because it was so low budget? But Michael Myers totally, the way he cocked his head and just like held the knife in his hand, he was fucking amazing. I know someone else that's totally obsessed with him too. If someone wears a Michael Myers mask and turns their head the right way, I'll go crazy. Also, I like sort of the terrorist ski mask concept and blindfold. My dark places. I'm completely... Why am I telling you this? I used to like to fuck with obscene phone callers when I got it. Like I would just try to get them to say something besides breathing. I kind of wondered if I was a random selection or if it was someone that was stalking me.
Tattoos. I lied. I called back. Tattoos are sexy. I have fucked more than several dozen people just to see the full quality of their tattoos, to taste their tattoos. Asses. But the only kind of ass I don't like are the altered ones. The ones where the girls or the women suck all their life out of their ass. Seen heavily in Houston and Hollywood, Beverly Hills exactly. They think it ain't good, but I'm always like, do you want some more ice cream, honey? Let's go get a double quarter pounder with cheese. I'll big or little, you know. It's like, yeah, let's go. Yeah, I'll drive that to St. Louis. Jesus.
Hello, it's Lloyd Kaufman, president of Troma and creator of The Toxic Avenger. This is a really stupid question you've asked. And I'm only doing this because you and your dad are the best. And I love Pep Squad. And I find Pep Squad really sexy. But I'll tell you what's really sexy. It's marriage to the same woman, monogamy, knowing that you're going to be with the same person for the rest of your life forever. Wait a minute, that's not sexy. God damn it, that's not sexy. No, Haley Mills. She was sexy. She sang that song, Let's Get Together. Hey, 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 we were gonna have fun. Let's get together. She was hot. She was really hot. I'll tell you, all the Kennedys, they are sexy, especially the dead Kennedys. Especially some idiot who flies a plane when he can't even pass the bar. Think of all the hot bimbos he could have gotten. How about the other one who crashed into a tree playing touch football while skiing? That's hot. Thank you. Hey, wait a minute. This isn't on my anytime minutes. Damn it. You said this was a 900 number. Crap. By the way, what are you wearing? Tell me it real slow. And call me Sally.
Hi, Steve. This is Ginger, just calling to give you my thoughts on what is sexy, and sexy is Wentworth Miller and all those tats, ooh, 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 and Matt Dillon and the Outsiders. Didn't you just love him in those tighty whities in that hospital bed?
Balderson! What's up, dude? It's Cusper. I don't think I need too much time to answer that question. It's simple. What is sexy? Sexy is a lost little boy who was never taught not to talk to strangers. Yeah! You know what I mean. All right, I'm making some soup. I'll call you later. Bye.
Well, hi, Steve. It's Jason Seacrest calling, of JasonCurious.com. Well-noted porn journalist and host. What is sexy? I think sexiness is a divine quality that comes from within, because I've seen people who have the most aesthetically pleasing exterior that you can possibly imagine, but it doesn't mean that they know how to walk with sexiness, how to embody sensuality. And I've seen men who are 250 pounds who seem like they embody Sharon Stone in drag and can be the sexiest motherfuckers on earth. So I think that it's a state of mind, and I think that it's something within. I don't think it has anything to do with the physical whatsoever. That's my answer. I'm sticking to it.
Hello, Steve. This is Suzanne. I'm calling you to tell you what's sexy, finally. So I've got it down into two categories. Objects and people. We'll go with people first. Well-dressed people are sexy. People who smell good. People who can make things. Funny people. And smart people. There's a lot more sexy people than that, but that's all you're getting. Objects. Sexy objects. Well, first of all, well-designed objects are sexy. Books are sexy. Aprons are very sexy. High-heel shoes are very sexy. Tools are sexy. And under tools, I have a subcategory to define which tools specifically. So I'd like to say anvils are sexy. Lathes are sexy. Micrometers. And certain hammers. Not all of them. I have a lot more ideas, but, just not going to share it with you. Bye.
Hello, Steve. This is Sandy Wyatt.
in response to your email. Sexy to me is, in one word, confidence. Maybe in the way someone walks with confidence. Okay, take care. Bye.
I go to this nail salon called CT Nails, and there's all these, like, fucking amazing, like, Russian chicks from, like, age 15 to, like, in their 70s, and they're so done. They're so done all the time, like, wearing coordinated sweats and getting, like, French toenail manicures. Even, like, the old ladies are, like, perfect makeup in the middle of the day just to go to the nail salon, and they're all like, who knows if they're married or not. I like to fantasize that they're people's mistresses. But there was these two Russian checkout girls at the Mayfair Market, and they would always wear, like, really inappropriate, like, tons of makeup, like club makeup and, like, hair accessories. And one of them had on this vest that said, "May I help you?" But she was wearing it backwards, and I know it was just because she didn't speak English well at that point, but I thought she wore it backwards to say, "May I help you?" because it looked more like that Cyrillic Russian writing. It looked like the N was backwards and stuff, like 9 Inch Nails. And they'd always be, like, rolling their eyes like they were so far above bagging your groceries. And then I bumped into one of them at the nail salon, and I started talking to her, and she was just like a normal 19-year-old, but I'd been having these fantasies about them for months. They were sisters. They had green eyes. And one of them had this, like, Armenian mafia, like, Russian mafia boyfriend that drove up in a Mercedes with tinted windows, and I almost started crying. So I'm like, oh, my God, she has a boyfriend. They were so beautiful. Their names were Yelena and Regina. I stalked them for months, and they didn't know it. They thought I was just being friendly. And one of them's in nursing school now, and neither one of them work at the market anymore, and they're getting all assimilated into, like, you know, hip-hop culture and Southern California, and they're not wearing, like, rad hair accessories and 5 different kinds of eye makeup.
Hey, Steve, it's Courtney Chase. Sexy is the confidence in a person's smile. When someone walks in the room and they just have a way about them. That's what I think sexy is. Bye. Have a nice day. Love you.
Hi, Steve. This is Marcy Johnson. I'm a friend of Pleasance. What is sexy? Homework, I find to be incredibly sexy. This is probably how I got a master's degree from Harvard. I always had to allot time to orgasm when I was studying. I also find that my husband got me in the mood by reading me dessert menus, molten lava, chocolate cake, strawberries and whipped cream, pumpkin, creme brulee, long hot baths with favorite chocolates, and foot rubs with the smell of roses all around me. Let me see. So many things. Mardi Gras parades, incredibly enough, the flambeau torture bearers.
My name is Lady Monster. I'm in San Francisco. I'm a burlesque dancer and a provocative poet. Sexy is honesty, confidence, wavy dark hair, black plastic frame glasses, and crow's feet, a come-hither eyebrow, slow seduction, and bondage, including self-bondage with corsets and girdles, and bonding, being able to say, me too, in the conversation, cuddling and kissing, getting pampered, good art, a powerful performance, and public sex, living out loud, being the person you want to be, and receiving a compliment, and asking for permission. Thank you. If you'd like more information about Lady Monster, I'm at ladymonster.com. Thank you.
What is sexy? A tilt of the head, the upward glance from below well-shaped eyebrows, a strong jawline, a light aftershave after a close shave,
Marlon Brando's jeans in The Wild One. James Dean's jeans in Giant. That is what is sexy. Edie McClurg.
Hey Steve, it's James Ballard. Sexy is strength. Someone's confidence is sexy. Sexy is, I see sexy in different shades. Smell, that's sexy. The way the clothes lay on a person is sexy, and, the attitude kind of comes through, and you can kind of just sense and smell sex, or not sex, but sex appeal from an individual like that. The way someone, lick their lips when they're talking, sexy is the way someone eats, the way that the, food kind of enters someone's mouth and they really enjoy it. They kind of if they're taking it really slow. And, so a lot of things can be sexy to me. I think the most important thing, sexy is how you feel about yourself. If you feel sexy, then most of the time it'll come through, and then you'll look sexy. Some people have different smells, and you can kind of tell who they are before you even see them from that smell, which is really sexy.
Hi, Steve. I forgot to mention my first sexual fantasy was about Street and Roy, who I went to see in Las Vegas at their magic show when I was 12, and their electric blue spandex pants, combined with their making the elephants disappear, caused me to have my first sexual fantasy that was so hot in my grandmother's trailer in a King's Court trailer park in Las Vegas, which I actually think is pretty scary, but true. And ever since then, my girlfriends are constantly sending me white tigers. Oh, this is Marcy Johnson again. Bye.
Yes, this is Brett Wolf, and answer the question, what is sexy? Sexy is a slight smile, an enthusiastic laugh, a deep stare, and a soft caress. There's something about the way a guy listens to you as you talk that makes you smile inside and makes you yearn for more. Sexy is interest and longing for more, and a good ass always helps. Thanks.
Hi, it's Plez. It's really sexy when there's a ring around the moon, like there is tonight. It's incredible. It's a really clear sky, and there's this almost rainbow ring around the moon. I love when that happens. The other thing that happens at night that I think is really insanely sexy is fireflies. They are just so cool. And even before the commercial on TV, when the firefly fell in love with a Timex watch and was flashing it, I love fireflies. Like anything that glows in the dark is really sexy. Marilyn Monroe, the biggest movie star in the country, having an affair with John F. Kennedy, the president of, the leader of the free world, and the Attorney General, his brother, and Sam Giancana, the mob boss. Jackie O. She was elegant, but I don't know if she was sexy. She had too much of that East Coast good breeding. Her sister Lee Radziwill was always a little bit scattered and sexy. I think Jackie O with Aereo Onassis was a little bit more sexy than Jackie O with John F. Kennedy because she was trying to hold it together. Joan Crawford in Flamingo Road was sexy. She was such a slut. Drive-in movies. There's hardly any of those anymore. Making out in the backseat to a drive-in movie. I love that. What are there, 3 left in the country?
Hi, this is Kelly Hunt, and I'm calling to answer the question, what is sexy? And I think what is most sexy to me is the way my husband looks at me when he smiles, and I know he's happy and wants to be there. The other thing that I think is just completely sexy is a person's attitude. If they feel comfortable in their body and they're comfortable with their sexuality and it's being good to them, then I just think that's fabulous. I think attitude and the mind has everything to do with what's sexy. The other thing I got to say that I think is just really sexy is music. And being a musician, hey, it works for me. There's a lot of music I listen to that isn't just relaxing, and it just kind of can put a person in the mood, and what can I say? So the eyes have it, the attitude has it, and the music has it. Thanks. Bye.
Hey, Steve, this is Lou Ann. And you know what? What I think is sexy is confidence. And I think that if that confidence shows up on a dance floor, then that is sexy. That is sexy, sexy. Okay, thanks. Thanks for asking. Bye.
Hi, Steve. It's Ryan. To me, sexy are the contradictions in the world and the perfectly imperfect. Studies say that attractiveness is measurable and is related to symmetry, but I find a large nose, a crooked smile, and a few interestingly located moles or freckles to be uber sexy. Sexy contradictions are drag queens with deep voices and hairy faces and protruding Adam's apples. Conservative, dainty professional women who can control the boardroom with their intelligence and assertiveness. I think juxtaposition is sexy. That's all I got.
Hey, it's Christian, and I'm finally calling you. And I'm answering the question, what is sexy? And I'm sure I'll be cut off because I'm a big blabbermouth. But here's what I thought about. Being a man, which is barely a half evolutionary step above a disgusting puppy humping a poor stranger's leg, any nubile posterior, any nipple hugged by fruit of the loom, any balding bear cub, any obnoxious weeho gym rat, any adorable bat-blind academic doughboy nerd is food for sexual fancy. But is sexual sexy? What is truly sexy? Violence? The assassination of the top 10 D.C. Republicans would be hot foreplay. Add in the Pope and it's like that vintage lube called Mr. Satisfied. But is that truly sexy? Is culture sexy? Earnest youngsters playing pop rock too loud? Clingy paint-splattered fatigues on a bespectacled CalArts... Sorry, you know this is written and I'm reading it. Clingy paint-splattered fatigues on a bespectacled CalArts student? It goes on and on. But what is really sexy is freedom. Freedom from financial want, freedom from health cares, freedom from invasive governments, and freedom from religious directives. What's really sexy is the freedom to just walk down any street you might imagine. Prague comes to mind because I was just there, and enthuse and fantasize about who is behind every Art Nouveau window, who might just be walking down the street that you'll run into. I guess sexy is freedom, imagination, and possibility.
Hi, Steve. This is Tim. I have to say that there's nothing sexier than a man who doesn't take himself too seriously, because seems like a lot of the time you meet someone really good looking and they'll just end up being nothing more than a pretentious asshole. So personally, I don't really go for those types of guys. I'd mainly go for the guy who would laugh loudly after farting in public. Just something endearing about a lack of shame. So that is what I find sexy. Good day.
The smell of blood, menstrual blood, drives me fucking nuts. I could smell it across the street. Any smell, sweat, good, not funk smell. I used to have a girlfriend. I was just like Napoleon. I'm like, don't shower, let it game up a bit. But she was too clean. It took her a while to get funky. But on the interesting note, I don't like funk. That'll turn me off quicker than shit. It's like, put your motherfucking pants back on, bitch. Go home. What's that movie? That song? Go home and wash out your pussy. Whatever like that is. Jesus. That's funny how it can be so good on one end and so bad on the other. Nothing will turn me off faster than that fucking spunk smell, though. Like I said. But on the other, that fucking cat pheromone reptilicus.
Hi, this is Neotech. I'm from Star Babies, and the answer to the question for me and what I think of sexy is, off the top of my head right now, teenage runaways, angst, and dishevelment.
Hey, this is Chris Sergi. Corniness and kind of like indie geekiness, like not tackiness, because that's just people who are like really funny by accident, like they just they just really say stupid things and kind of off-the-wall things, but not people that think they're funny and they're just tacky. That's not sexy. And also, I have a thing for, like, speech impediments and braces. So, like, people who can't say, like, their S's and things like that. Yeah, that's, like, a big turn-on for me. So that is my definition of sexy and what I find sexy. Individuality and speech impediments. So you can put that one on the books. Thanks.
Dolphins are insanely sexy. When I was really little, I had a crush on Flipper, which was one of my many inappropriate childhood crushes. And then when I got a little bit older, I thought it'd be really cool to have a blowhole to, like, spout it, you know, just make it spout when you were happy about something. Just like Old Faithful or something, or like a dolphin or a whale. Then I went swimming with the dolphins on Isla de las Mujeres, like an island off of Cancun, and they were seriously so insanely sexy. The feel of their skin was just unbelievable, and it was kind of resilient and plush and padded and kind of slippery, and they were really smart and friendly, and you could hear their blowholes going the whole time. And then there was 2 dolphins mating, and that was just incredible. They were, like, mating, totally, like, you know, having sex with each other and jumping and swirling and doing corkscrews throughout the waves and, like, jumping united and making, like, those crazy flipper noises. They looked like they were having so much fun. That was really damn sexy. Then my hat flew off the boat, and all the dolphins were nudging it with their little bottleneck muzzles. Oh, and when dolphins learn commands from people, like the dolphin commands that the trainers teach you, it looks just like the Macarena. Sexy Latin dolphin. Bye.
I think one thing that is sexy is the vein or the veins that run up the inner arm of a man. Hi, Steve. It's Jane. Talk to you later. Bye.
Yes, would you have a room available tonight? Hello? Hello, do you have an available room tonight?
Mike, look at me.
What? What time is it in Kansas, Dorothy? Hey, this is Inger, Mr. Balderson, and it took me way too long to get back to you. I'm sorry. This is what I jotted down 2 weeks ago, and I meant to call you, and I just never got around to it. No excuse for being too busy. There just isn't. Anyway, to me, sexy is unpedigreed and yet elegant and refined at the same time. Sexy is confidence bordering on cockiness. Sexy is something inherently abhorrent or dangerous or unconventional that hits you unexpectedly in the gut and your solar plexus and gets registered in the brain as something delightful and pleasing and beautiful. But all in all, to me, sexy is something totally unexpected. That's it, Mr. Balderson. Have a nice day. This is Inger Laurie, over and out. Bye.
Betty Davis with that fucking, I forget the name of the movie where their shoes legs. She's like shaving her legs or something, and what's his name is like a painter, and he's like cuckold or whatever it's called, and oh man, that's evil movie. It's just horrible because you want it, but you know it's going to kill you.
Adam Barnick, Hoboken, New Jersey. Sexy is attitude. Sexy is one's attitude. It's confidence, it's humor, it's energy, it's a comfortability with oneself. It's a go-getting spirit of enthusiasm and play and willing to do what one is actually striving for in life. That, I would say, is sexy to me. And failing that, you know, silky things usually help.
Hi, I'm Janet Charlton. Leonard Cohen, slow dancing, low rider vintage cars that hop, zoot suits, Wentworth Miller, and the movie Unfaithful. Thank you.
Hey, Steve, it's Kristen. I got 4 things for you. Okay, so the first one is most of the women in Title IX magazine. Quiet confidence, a genuine singing ability, and last but definitely not least, well-defined women's forearms. I think that's the most important one. Okay, bye.
I'm a sucker for light-colored eyes with long eyelashes on anybody, especially light green eyes. I love light-colored eyes. They're so beautiful. Also, I love men's arms with big muscles, and I love those little statue lines by the side of their hips. And on women, I like a very great, tiny waist and big, wide hip ratio. I love that. And, of course, bubble butts on anybody.
Hey, Steve, this is Jesse Blaze Snyder, former VJ for MTV2, Fuse, and AOL Music's Top 11 Countdown, writer of Fangoria Comics' Strangeland 7 Sins prequel, and lead singer of Baptized by Fire. What is sexy? Sexy is confidence, and sexy is mystery. Anybody who can cover up just enough to make you interested in what they got, it doesn't matter how attractive they are. You could be the ugliest person on the planet. But if you come correct, confidently, and with a little bit of mystery, you're going to have it going on as far as anybody is concerned. So short and sweet, that's my answer.
Steve, it's Mike Adams. Sexy is being able to wake up next to a person and be able to have the freedom to fuck them in their sleep or wake them up by fucking them. I find that sexy. Being able to look across the road at someone in the window. Someone who's not afraid to dress with the curtains open or undress with the curtains open. I find that sexy.
Hey, Steve, it's Ari Gold. Sexy, other than LL Cool J, who's probably the sexiest man alive, sexy is being proud of who you are, no matter where you come from, just being proud, being confident, and trying to be the best person you could be. That's sexy. And as far as gay pop stars go, I think I'm pretty sexy, so how's that? All right, talk to you later, Steve. Bye-bye.
Hi, Steve. It's Abby Travis answering your question. Here's a short list. Sketches of Spain, the non-flowering kind of plum trees, well-formed muscular hands, confidence, laugh lines, a good solid jawbone, full lips, and Charles Mingus. Okay, bye.
Catholic's overdone, but I thought, and then Pleasant took me down to the Catholic girl at school when they were letting out at 3 o'clock, and I was like, no. And then I saw, like, just normal girls, you know. I mean, underage girls aren't sexy, nevertheless, because of inhibitions or whatever he is. But then she goes, no, wait. And then I saw the bad girls when they get out and they roll their stockings out and jack their skirt up and start smoking and tie their fucking white shit underneath their breasts and button it down and smoke at the bus stop right after school. I'm just like, no, I couldn't even look. It's just, oh, God.
The Navy chicks were pretty hot. The Army chicks weren't. Army uniforms were not hot. But the Navy chicks, something about the blue slacks. I don't know, the navy blue slacks. Because the Sea Orgs got it, the cops got it, and always those missionaries and Southern Baptist chicks have navy blue on.
I think I find it sexy when a woman can be seductive without being a whore. I find it most sexy when a woman can be around me and not necessarily fuck me on the first date. Or I find that sexy. I like the prowl. I like the game, the hunt. I find that sexy. Women that just let me fuck them, I rarely have anything to do with.
I will always tip a stripper more if she's got bleached blonde hair with dark roots, bad hair extensions, a salon tan, Pamela Anderson style lip liner, and especially scuffed white platforms or scuffed lucite platforms. That just gets many, many, many more tips from me. I love the whole like blonde tan girls gone wild girl next door stripper ethic. It's so trashy and amazing. It's really good. I'll tip one with a bad boob job too. What else do I like? If they have a Playboy bunny tattooed, like a sun tattoo, or if they have a pierced ring with like a pierced navel ring with like something stupid on it. You know what I mean? Just that whole cheesy stripper ethic is so fucking amazing. And any mindless girls that were ex-cheerleaders are great. I love and hate really dumb girls, but I think it's really sexy. If I was a guy, I'd be blowing a lot of money on that. I don't know. It's not a very feminist thing to say, but just to encourage that sort of, like the girls who would be on The Bachelor, there's a place for that type of stupidity and like vapid prettiness. And that accent that sounds like this, when they're like, oh no, you're not in the sorority. They're like trying to talk like Pamela Anderson. And it's become the ubiquitous sexy girl accent of our country, no matter what state you're from. Anyway, that's the way a stripper talks. And she's wondering how many clients have come to see her tonight, and she's gathering up her tips in her scuffed white palms.
Hey, it's Jack. Doing the dishes. Picture a young housewife kneeling over a stainless steel phallus, which is spewing this steaming waterfall. And here she is, scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing. And there's the suds, too. Don't forget them.
Hi, Steve. It's Bruce Daniels. To answer the question, I think that I should say something funny, but I think that confidence in yourself is sexy. I think that's what's really, really, really sexy. Okay. Bye.
Steve, this is Trevor. I'm calling to answer the question, what is sexy? I think sexy is forbidden. It's something you can't have. It's something that lies just out of reach. And it's the unattainable. It's a girl that's too far out of your league, a guy that's too far out of your league. It's just not possible. And maybe that's what makes it sexy, is the allure of the unattainable.
Hey, Steve, this is Justin from the band Them. That's THEM, of course. Anyway, your question, let's see, what is sexy? To be honest, when you're out and about at a club and they happen to be playing your song or video comes on, and delicious, delicious, delicious guys seem to want to come home with you. Gee, what could be more sexy than that? And then you wake up the next day and you say, wow, this is art and this is my job, and you love the world. What could be more sexy than that? And oops, I think my vanity just poured through on that one. Anyway, take care.
Steve Balderson, Dave Gebrow. In answer to your question, as unsexy as this answer is, I think that clear-cut communication and total, unencumbered, uninhibited honesty is sexy. I spent a lot of my life trying to dive into the sort of, pornographic world of, images being sexy and concepts and, submission and dominance and power struggles. But, what really does it for me, I realize, now that I'm 34 years old and can truly realize what long-term sexiness is, something that, has an opportunity for growth and flourishment is honesty, complete honesty with someone else. This way you're having sex with their soul and not their body.
So what is sexy to me is resonance and tone in someone's speaking voice. And, if they talk like this and they talk really fast, and, you're not turned on. It's just more like if they're somehow settled in who they are, you can tell in their speaking voice there's some quality that resonates that turns me on. Like the sound, the gritty sound of somebody's voice. And it doesn't necessarily have to be gritty. The one with the New Jersey accent, what's her name? Rosie Perez. I think that she's sexy. Like there's something unique about her voice. It doesn't necessarily have to be gritty, but it can be unique. Talent. I think talent is incredibly sexy. And also having your shit together. Spiritually and emotionally, I think is incredibly sexy.
I think a lot of weird things are sexy. I'm not a really materialistic person, but I think a lot of materials are sexy, like glass and acrylic, things generally used to display items. I'm not sure if it's like a perceived value thing. I think that anything in a clear acrylic box is pretty sexy, particularly animals. I've had quite a few pet scorpions in acrylic boxes that I think are pretty sexy because they're like lobsters. Like they have weird joints. They're kind of like machine-like. Like the animals are just like machines. I think it's pretty sexy. Like insect that's designed like a motorcycle with parts that move, jointed, weird things. I think taxidermy is pretty sexy, like especially birds with like outstretched wings. I think they're pretty majestic and sexy. There's also like, it's hard to explain, but there's like places in my imagination that I've had since I was younger that I think have some kind of sexiness. Like usually they feel abandoned. Like a ghost town, but like with a definite presence, like someone's there waiting for me. They usually come from daydreams, and one is this place made of ice, and I think it's like floating in the ocean, like an iceberg with a city carved onto the surface. I think it's pretty sexy. And calves are sexy, big, thick calves on a person.
The air in Hawaii is so sexy. It's flower scented and balmy and damp, and there's beautiful cumulus cloud formations. It's just amazing. No wonder everyone's in such a good mood there all the time. The other thing that's really, really sexy is when you're with someone and you're mutually attracted and you haven't kissed yet. It's that moment just right before the first kiss, just right leading into it. That is just, that's just delicious. I mean, that moment's like bigger than losing your virginity as far as I'm concerned.
Hey, it's Margaret Cho calling. I think what's sexy is a kind of unconsciousness about what's sexy about yourself, and allowing yourself just to be in your body and in the moment and in the reality of who you are and what you're doing. That's what I think.
Hey, good morning, Steve. This is Vedra. Questions. What is sexy? I don't know, so many things, but off the top of my head is someone who sets out to do something and actually does it. Not a talker, but a finisher. We like finishers. Sexy is my girlfriend first thing in the morning. Sexy is my lovely little fluffy dog who comes to visit me.
Hi, Steve. This is Teresa Tana. You want to know what I deem is sexy? Me. I'm sexy. And I think any woman with confidence and the aura about her that she's sexy, who feels that she's sexy, is very sexy. You have to know that you're sexy in order to feel like you're sexy. You have to know you're sexy in order to exude that aura of being sexy. So, basically, that's it. Thanks. Bye.
Hey, it's Joe Gabriel. Okay, so the question is, what is sexy? All right, well, these are some things that evoke sexy for me. Dragonflies, because they're provocative, bold, and mysterious. And I think cats are sexy because they're primal, iconically sensual, and quite aware of who they are. They really live and breathe their truth. I love chocolate and coffee. I think it's sexy. They melt in your mouth, and they taste exquisitely divine. Trees. I think trees are sexy. They're ancient, beautifully expressive, and arcane. There's so much movement and flow to them. The color amber. It has a deep warmth and alluring energy. There's a whispering quality to it. I think tattoos are really sexy. It's living art. They are the origin of what lies within us, and they tell their story perpetually. Vincent Price sounds funny, but I think he's really amazing. The man, as well as the many characters that he's played. He exudes dangerous, yet he's empathetic. He's sophisticated, he's sardonic, and somehow still poetically tragic all at once. And finally, pianos and cellos, because you just want to put your hands all over them. Their sound penetrates, they can pierce your soul and the heart, and create such deliverance, and it's like climaxing. So that's it. Yeah, those are some of the things that I think are sexy.
Kenny Rogers.
Hi, Steve. This is Melanie. I want to answer your question. I think sexy is melted chocolate swirling around. I also think sexy is personality for me. And personality is everything. A good sense of humor is very sexy.
Hi, Steve. This is Brady calling you after a raucous night of karaoke at the Smog Cutter in Los Angeles. Sexy is Maud Adams in the James Bond film Octopussy. Thank you.
What is sexy to me is anticipation, the hope of a promise fulfilled. Goodbye.
Hi, this is Ron Jeremy. I'm sorry I'm a day late. To me, sexy is in the eyes and the mind of the beholder. To quote some famous philosopher who once said, for every gorgeous guy and girl you see, there's somebody out there who's tired of having sex with them. So to me, sexy is very cerebral and very personal. A person can be sexy to only one person, then they're still sexy. Usually it also implies attractive to look at and in shape. But then again, a person can find someone else sexy if they're not. So basically, it's an internal cerebral thing. If one person finds another person sexy, then they are sexy. Not necessarily in the community, so I guess in the total life on the planet scheme of things. But you can be sexy if one person finds you that way. You can be sexy if your German Shepherd finds you that way. So to me, that's sexy. Again, it benefits me to say this, because I lost being sexy 10 years ago. I went from Playgirl magazine to Field and Stream. Thanks. I went from the gym to the buffet. Thank you. Ron Jeremy signing out. Bye-bye.
If you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try again. If you need help, hang up and then dial your operator. If you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try again. If you need help, hang up and then dial your operator.